Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you all are fine. Today we will start our lesson number 6 for your social studies books and for grade 5. Uh, the topic is from weather to climate and you have to open your page number 9. Okay, first of all, we will discuss what is climate. Climate is the word we use for the common weather condition of an area over a long period of time, at least 30 years. Okay, it is a weather condition over a long period of time in a specific area. Okay, climate includes the record of temperature. These are the variables of climate. Climate includes the record of temperature, amount of rainfall or snow, moisture, wind, and atmospheric pressure. Okay, the climate varies from one part of the world to another. It can be very hot, very cold, or moderate temperate, which means neither too hot nor too cold. In different areas of Earth, climate varies. Different parts of Earth, climate varies. Means at the same time, there is a difference in climate in different sections of part of the Earth. Now let's see the reasons behind different climates. Okay, there is an information. Do you know? See the box. A meteorologist is a person who studies the weather and climate using computer technology and information from satellites. Meteorologists are able to forecast the weather quite accurately. First of all, you have to see meteorology. What is meteorology? Meteorology is a science, is a subject in which we study about weather and climates in different areas. So the meteorologist is that person who study the weather and climate by using computer technology and information from satellites. Okay, now let's see the reasons behind different climates. Reasons for different climates in the world. First of all, latitude. The earth is divided by a series of imaginary horizontal parallel lines. As the earth is a sphere, these circles become smaller as they approach the poles. The equator is at the center of these lines. It divides the earth into exactly two halves, and the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. The sun's rays fall directly on the equator, as here the distance between the earth and the sun is the least. Therefore, the region closest to the equator experience a hot climate. Okay, the region which is farther away from the equator receives the sun's rays at a range at an angle. The further the region is from the equator, the cooler its climate will be. The poles, which are the farthest points from the equator, experiences extremely cold climates. Okay, latitude is basically imaginary lines which are drawn on the globe. So to check the reference areas of different places on Earth. Okay, we use these latitudes to check the areas. So these are the imaginary lines drawn by different geographers. Okay, as the latitudes go towards the South Pole and North Pole, the climate changes. How it changes? The equator is the middle part, okay, and the sun rays comes directly to the equator. So this region is hotter than the poles because the sun rays goes in a slanting way, make an angle, so they don't receive direct heat from sun. So these regions are not so hot, they are cold. there are glaciers over there. Okay, the next is height above sea level. The higher a place is situated above sea level, the cooler it is because the temperature decreases by 1 degree with every 200 meters of altitude. Okay, this is a very important point. As we go go above the sea level, we attain the height. For example, if we go to the mountainous areas of Pakistan, you can experience there is pleasant weather, or it gradually becomes colder. Like for example, we go in Murray, it's a little bit cold over here. So the cooler it is because the temperature decreases by 1 degree with every 200 meters of altitude. Okay, this is another reason why uh, different climates are there on the earth. Distance from the sea. The sea is cooler than the land in summer, but because water retains its heat longer than land does, it is warmer than the land in winter. Thus, in summer, cool breezes blowing across the sea keep regions near the sea cooler than regions lying inland. In winter, the reverse happens. Due to warm sea breezes, the coastal regions enjoy mild winters as opposed to severe winter inland. Okay, distance from the sea. First of all, water has a property that it absorbs the heat and cold both. Okay, and it become hot or cold with the a passage of time. So when the breeze came from the sea area, which absorb the heat, okay, the breeze will be very hot. So in winters, it helps the coastal areas to get a very pleasant warm breeze. Okay, now let's see the types of climate. Generally, there are three types of climate: polar, temperate, and tropical. Now, this is the globe. In this picture, you can see the major climatic regions of the world, which we divide according to the latitudes. You can see the equator on 0 degree. This is the middle of the earth. It divides the earth into two hemispheres. The upper hemisphere is the northern hemisphere, and the hemisphere is the southern hemisphere. You can see the north pole on 90 degree and south pole 90 degree. Okay. On 23 and a half degree north, there is another line. Then 66 degree and 66 and a half degree on north, there is another line which divides them into further climatic regions in the north pole and as well as in the south pole. You can see tropical climates on both equatorial regions, and temperate climate from 23 and a half degree to 66 and a half degree, and then 66 and a half degree north to north pole 90 degree. There is a polar climate. Okay, now this is a map. This is a world map, and we have divided the climatic regions of the world into on this map. The first one is tropical, temperate, and polar in the northern hemisphere, and then tropical, temperate, and polar in the southern hemisphere. You can see. Can you figure out that where is Pakistan? Pakistan falls in temperate region. Okay, temperate climate. We experience temperate climate means that we experience both cold and hot weather climate in the very mild. Now let's see the major climatic regions of the world. First one is the polar region. You can see it's covered with snow. These are the coldest parts of the world. Okay. Next is equatorial region. A heavy cloud cover and violent thunderstorms are the hallmark of these regions. The temperature stays not through hot throughout the year. So it is a very hot weather. Next is temperate region. Pakistan also falls in temperate region. Temperate region, these areas have a moderate temperature and climate. Okay, we experience both hot and cold climate. Next is tropical regions. The climate in these region is hot and humid with high precipitation. Precipitation means snowfall, rainfall, whatever. These are the forms of precipitation. Next is desert regions. Temperature here may range from very high in the day to freezing at night because the desert sand absorb the hotness and coldness. Mountain regions. These high altitude mountains have a cold climate. As we have studied that as we go upward, altitude increases, the temperature decreases by 1 degree on every 200 meters. Okay, students, in case of any query, you are welcome to send a text on school's contact number. We will address your queries there. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.